Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you. Coming at you with some Radiant Typhoon gameplay. Did a little bit more testing with the deck on day one, although this video will be going out, I think, about a week after the set was released. This is more day one gameplay from me here. So this first duel is going to be a going first game against DoomZ. And starting off with the visions during the draw phase, of course, always playing around Droll and Lockbird, managing to find the Swen here, which is going to be a full combo. So, as you can see from the engraver in hand, I am on the Fiendsmith engine. However, I'm on more of a minimalist Fiendsmith engine, meaning that the only actual card in my main deck is engraver, as far as the Fiendsmith line goes. So I actually can't use engraver to just discard it and go for my Fiendsmith plays, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's the main drawback of playing the more minimalist engine. I've actually, since games like this, thought about including a single copy of Fiendsmith's Sanct, which is a quick play spell that can special summon a Light Fiend token, which would solve some of the breaking problems there. In any case, our opponent is going to throw out the Ghost Ogre here against our Link 2, which is a little bit unfortunate, but not the end of the world. By the way, when I normal summoned Varuoon here, I forgot I was locked into Wind, and thought that maybe I could go into Moon of Closed Heaven and try to summon the engraver from hand, but yeah, it's the Crocea, I believe, that locked me into Wind. But we're just going to make another Link 2 here, the Link 2 Varuoon, that is, and now we can actually use the Varuoon effect in order to set up the Mandate. I did have to give up my other MSTs here in order to do it, but I think it's worth it, honestly. We can use Mandate effect to get an extra draw here as well. That'll find us a Max C, obviously a pretty powerful hand trap. And I'm not going to let this Varuoon go to waste. Even though I'm locked into Wind, I can still summon Racevulgar, the Desperate Doom Eagle, which can offer some graveyard interruption as well as being a very high attack monster going into their turn. During their draw phase, I'm going to use Mandate to draw again. They're going to fire off a Varuoon, which is totally fine because I'm not going to summon from the extra deck during their turn. Alright, there go my cards. Getting an MST would be really nice to have that face down, but beggars can't be choosers. Excuse me. They're going to go for Medius the Pure. We're going to chain Ash Blossom to that. I like using Ash Blossom against a starter that uses its normal summon. Kind of forces your opponent to have an extender in hand. They do have the DoomZ Raiders here, but we thankfully have the Maxi in order to try to give us something in order to help us out a little bit. Unfortunately, although they are activating effects in the graveyard, the DoomZ engine, at least this part of it, doesn't really have anything that the Racevulgar can disrupt on its own. But we do still have the Mandate face down, which could potentially revive like a monster in defense mode if we need to, you know, chump an attack. I will put back one of their monsters in response to them destroying my Racevulgar. Well, not destroying it outright, but it's not like they targeted it, but you know, I read the card and realized they're going to destroy it, so I figure why not put back the one that's already in the graveyard. Alright, here I'm going to use the Ascendance here. Here I'm going to use it here. Oh, we have Crocea, yeah, so we're just going to revive that, for sure. Like I said, this defense mode Crocea can take a hit and block for us, as well as switching out the Phonics and MST. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I don't think they're going to set up too many more bodies on board, and sure enough, they are just going to go to battle phase here. They can use the Dracotail quick effect in order to Exceed Summon, but it's not going to be enough to OTK me. And obviously, looking at my hand, I feel really good going into their next turn. Or in my next turn, rather. Sure enough, we are going to survive. They're going to set one and pass. They're going to go draw phase destruction, try to equip to the Dracotail rank 8. I'm going to chain MST and then also Mandate, negating the equip spell that prevents their monster from being targeted. Or it's Drastrius, as the rank 8 is. We're just going to chain Droplet to the Drastrius effect here, and that's going to be enough to get them to concede. As if that weren't enough, I would have also special summoned the Crocea and or the Phonics as well. Well, it would have had to have been one or the other, but I think I would have just done Crocea here. I could have added, like, Ascendance or Chant, activated that during the draw phase, and then still special summoned the Phonics. Could have MST'd and also bounced the remaining board back to the deck as well. Alright, so there's our first duel. Let's go and check out the next one. Okay, this one's gonna be a going second mirror match. If you watched my first video, you'll know that I had a lot of trouble with my first mirror match for Radiant Typhoon. It's really tricky because, of course, your Mystical Space Typhoons and other quick play spells will also trigger your opponent's effects to activate. So they're gonna chant for Swen, special summon Swen. I'm waiting to use my Ash Blossom against their Crocea. I think that's definitely the best Ash Blossom target. They're going to discard Mandate, which is actually fine if you do that because you can just get it back with the Link to. So here's Crocea. Like I said, I'm going to Ash Blossom that. I really like that we have Sheena in our hand. This card is actually a really powerful going second tool. If you go first, it can act as a sort of hand trap. But what's really nice about it is that it's a really solid board breaker tool. So they're going to go for the Link to Varuoon, add MST, set 3 cards, and then pass. I'm going to go draw phase MST, and they're going to chain MST against mine. I'm doing this, of course, to special summon the Crocea from my hand. And just really hoping they don't have anything scary in their hand. I knew about the Varuoon, of course. I knew they were going to get the Mandate here, but they're not dropping like a Phonics from hand or anything, which is good for us. We're going to summon the Crocea. Crocea effect's going to activate. They're going to chain Droplet, sending away the Link to Varuoon. And of course, because they sent a monster, I can't chain with Sheena. However, they are going to activate the Draw 3 effect here, which will let me summon the Sheena. So now we can bounce the back row. And what's nice is that because the Mandate was a continuous trap card, and it's no longer on the field, it actually won't resolve now. So during my main phase, I can special Eldum. They're going to chain Droll and Lockbird, which is definitely annoying, but I can still summon Swen. I'm going to move to battle phase, even though this isn't lethal, because I think this is the most amount of damage that I'm going to get here. Main phase 2, we're going to link off Crocea plus the Sheena into the Moon of the Closed Heaven. Another reason I really like having our Fiendsmith engine here is that it gives you options into the Droll and Lockbird. And sure enough, that's going to be enough to get them to concede. Alright, so that's definitely a lot cleaner of a mirror match than we had in the first video there. That first one definitely dragged on for a long time, and, well, you've seen it. And if not, definitely check it out. It was the last Radiant Typhoon video I posted, as well as my combo guide, which I'll just go ahead and link them both down below. But let's go ahead and move on to the next game. For this one, we're going to be going second against K9 Vanquish Soul, which is still definitely one of the stronger decks in the current meta. While Radiant Typhoon is quite good, I don't think it's quite tier 1 category. Especially now with Harpy's Featherstorm, as a lot of people have mentioned. I've actually not seen a single person playing Radiant Typhoon that is actually on the card. I just really don't think it's good in Best of 1. Even beyond Best of 1, like, it's such a, I don't know. I don't usually like to go in this too much nowadays, but it's a very TCG mindset to be like, oh, this card is banned, it has to be broken. But if you just go to like Road of the King or any other easily accessible, resource for OCG meta reports, where Featherstorm is legal at 3, you can look at Radiant Typhoon builds and see that they're not really playing it either. So, I don't know, it's just like this, it's this closed-mindedness that I'm really not a fan of in the TCG environment. Anyway, so our opponent here didn't have any going first plays, but they did have a shifter for us, which is not ideal, obviously, but we can definitely play through it. In fact, we're going to be able to play through their Ash Blossom and Ghost Spell on top of that. Not only can I reset the Ascendance here, but the Meg Hala can even summon the Crocea from deck to do even more searching and even more plays. This is another one of those scenarios where I think I might have had a little bit of trouble OTKing, but I would have established enough of a board that we would be totally fine in the grand scheme of things, especially if our opponent is just passing and firing off all these hand traps that are still not stopping us. Then I think we are going to be able to handle whatever they happen to top deck, even if it's like Raisin or something. We should still be good to go here. So I have one last duel. Let's finish off with that one, and then I'll show you the deck list. All right, this one's going to be more of a brief, just one-turn replay, but wanted to show this game against a 60-card Primite Dracotail list, which our opponent here was definitely cooking. All right, so we're going to be going first. We've got Eldum and a couple MSTs. Gonna start by summoning the Eldum, special summoning it, of course. They're gonna fire off an Ash Blossom, but we have the Called By here for that. And I'm actually not sure off the top of my head how the rest of this game played out. Let's see if they have any more hand traps for us here. Okay, so we can go Eldum for Swen. Now we'll special Swen F for the chant. Oh, that's right, I ended up misplaying this game. So yeah, I definitely should have gone Eldum for Crocea and then Tribute Summon. However, if we have the MST and any other back row here, we can actually recover from a position like this. I'm just going to use the chant for Meghala instead. We're going to go the Varuoon, and then I'm going to set MST my own MST, and then Varuoon effect will get to place the Mandate, and then Meghala can still summon here. Meghala is going to summon the Crocea, and now the Varuoon can place the Mandate. Crocea effect can add back one of those MSTs. I can even use Mandate to draw a card here as well. Although I think I should have done that after the Crocea search. Would have been a bit smarter. But we could go for main deck Varuoon to have a monster effect negate now, and we still have the 2 MSTs to negate any other card. That's right, I wanted to show this game off because even though it's only a 1-turn replay, and yeah, we just call by their 1 hand trap, I misplayed. And even though I misplayed here, as long as we have MST and like just something to use it with, even if it's another Mystical Space Typhoon, as you can see, that will greatly extend what our end board is capable of. And actually, what I set up was way better than the 1-card combo line that I intended to go for. I think Radiant Typhoon is a really, like, complex deck. It doesn't seem like it on the surface. What it's doing is very heads up. You know, set up Mandate, make Mystical Space Typhoon negate cards, summon stuff like Phonix and Varuoon to disrupt your opponent. But there's so many layers to how you can use all of these disruption pieces that it really does make for a very challenging and in turn, I think, rewarding gameplay experience. But let me show you the deck list here and then we will finish off. Okay, so here is my list for Radiant Typhoon. It's the same list from my combo guide as well as from my last gameplay video. But like I said, I'm already thinking about some changes I want to make. I actually got a comment, I think it was in the combo guide, that suggested Fiendsmith Sanct. And yeah, I was already kind of considering that beforehand. I saw it in some of the OCG lists I referenced that were using Fiendsmith engines were on Sanct. One of the lists I saw played Lacrima as well, which if you wanted to expand on the Fiendsmith engine a little bit more, I would probably add a single Sanct and then a single Lacrima in that order. But if you really want to, like I am here, you can get away with just a single copy of Engraver. Of course, the idea being that we turn any 2 monsters into Moon, Moon goes into Requiem, Requiem summons Engraver, then we equip the Requiem to the Engraver, summon Necroquip, Engraver revives itself, and then we make Caesar. Which I really, really like having the Caesar. Obviously, hot take, having a Caesar on your board before you go into the rest of your combo line is really, really good. Also, as always, worth noting that even if Moon gets banned, we can always still play the Mellow Melody, the Brass Djinn, which is a rank 3 Light Fiend Xyz monster. So this is not even like something Master Duel exclusive. You can definitely do this without the Moon of the Closed Heaven as well. Overall, like I said, I've been really enjoying this list, or this deck in general. I think if I were to try anything hugely different, would probably try not playing the Fiendsmith engine, and that would open up our extra deck to include Super Poly targets. Super Poly, of course, being another really, really good quick play spell, Board Breaker, that you could use in a deck like this. Also, I kind of would love to have a 3rd copy of Sheena. I only pulled 2. Haven't crafted a 3rd one. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet, but if I end up playing Radiant Typhoon a lot, like if I end up maining this deck, then I think I will definitely end up crafting a 3rd copy of this card. I think 2 is totally fine. If you really only have 1, then you can just use the 1 as well. It's one of those cards that's not like mandatory for your combo lines, but it's so nice to have. Like I said in one of the earlier duels, if you go first, it can act as a hand trap. If you go second, it can act as a board breaker. It's a really versatile card that you pretty much always want to see in your opening hand. So I would definitely be playing a 3rd copy if I had pulled one for sure. Yeah, the rest of the list I think is pretty self-explanatory. I think the extra deck is as well. The extra deck for Radiant Typhoon is actually pretty wide open. There's a lot of stuff here like Great Fly and the rank 9 Puff. Balthaner? I don't know. Anyway, these cards, like, I don't realistically really ever see myself summoning, so if you have other spicy extra deck stuff you want to try out, there's a lot of flex spots here. Like, Winna is probably one of the better flex spot cards, but is ultimately still a flex spot. Obviously, stuff like Typhoon and Underworld Goddess. I'm playing Underworld Goddess just to have a 15th card here. I don't really ever plan on realistically summoning this card. But anyway, I think that's going to go ahead and do it for my coverage of Radiant Typhoon for today. So thank you as always for watching. Super appreciate your support. And we're going to go ahead and move on to our outro so we can thank our YouTube members and Patreon subscribers specifically for their very generous support as well. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.